Guy, you had something you wanted to ask?
Yeah, like for the last month, there's been rioting and protests going on in France, and I would like just to do a card spread around the protests in France and how does that relate to us here in North America and what is the outcome of that. It's a really big thing and it's big upheaval. So
what started the riots, Guy?
Well, the President Macron was voted in last year and he didn't go through with some of his promises, and then he tried to up the gas taxes, and that upset the people, and this yellow vest movement started, where it's basically a nationalist movement, but all sides, the left and the right, have come together and are protesting and wanting this guy resigned.
Wow.
And so it kind of speaks a lot to like us in North America and the United States around Trump.
Potentially could happen here.
Around the corruption that we see in our society. So.
Surprising it hasn't actually happened here yet. Yeah. Okay, let's have a look. So the situation, so we've got the King of Cups describing the situation, and we're going to call it the rioting. Let's call it the rioting situation. So with that King of Cups, it's very complex. The King of Cups is a very complex character, and if it's describing what created this situation in the first place, so much going on here, and really, you know, would be hard to unravel, okay, but it's probably been going on for a really long time. Some, you know, dissatisfaction certainly in the whole situation, corruption, things like that, because the King of Cups can be quite a corrupt fellow. When he's badly aspected, he can be quite corrupt. Okay, so let's see, and then here they're just fed up here. So this would be the rioters themselves, and or you know, the French people in general. Let's say that is who we're going to be describing on this side here. And this card here with the Nine of Wands is, they've been pushed to where they just can't take it anymore. So, you know, and we've all felt that way. And I'm, you know, I'm certainly, we're seeing that all over the world right now. But this card here is where they just went, no, we just can't, we can't take any more. Okay, now the past that led to this situation is being described as the Six of Cups. Okay, now the Six of Cups can, there's a kindness to this card, but I have a feeling we're going to read it a different way today because it does seem a little bit badly aspected here, really close to this Nine of Wands. The Six of Cups can feel like sometimes someone is giving you something, but it's not enough. So I feel like a little bit like a bone was thrown to the French people here that just wasn't enough, and they felt like they got the raw end of a deal here, it feels like. Now, let's see. Here we have the Six of Wands. So the Six of Wands is actually a really positive card. Wow. And the Sun, so things could really be turning around here. This is interesting. Now we do have two major arcanas surrounding that Six of Wands, so I have a feeling it could take the better part of a year or in the next several months, because for me major arcanas always mean something's going to take time to work itself through. So I don't think what I'm going to talk about now is happening right away, but I feel like in the big picture, so in the next year, the people seem to win this one, and now that's exciting actually, and I'm thinking it might be good news here. The Sun feels like the people somehow. The Sun feels like, because there's an innocence to the Sun, and it isn't the corrupt feeling here that the King of Cups is. I have a feeling, you know, even though they took drastic measures, I feel like it's actually going to pay off, and better things get put in, better structure gets created because of the actions these yellow jackets, is that what they're being called? Yellow jackets are taking. So they're doing some really hard work. They're putting themselves in danger, and but they felt like, it looks like they were really pushed up against a wall and they didn't have a choice. They felt like there was nothing else they could do. Things were just getting so out of hand with corruption in their country, and they just had enough. With the 10 in the middle, 10s are interesting because 10s always mean the end of something. So I feel like with 10 and 9 right next to each other, I feel like they just had enough, and they were done with the facade that everything's okay. It wasn't okay, and it's not okay. Okay, and they actually seem to make some really big headway here. Even though it's a drastic measure that they're taking, I feel like it actually, they took a chance, and it feels like it works out for them with that 6. The 6 of Wands is like a victory. Now, it doesn't mean, it's not a major arcana, so it's not like an incredible world victory, but it's a local victory. Okay, so their local victory could change the government for the better to some degree here, and the people do seem to get some things, some structure in place for themselves that feels like they're happy with it. They're going to feel, and whoever they are, they being the general public, the French public here, the people that support and or are involved in this yellow jacket movement, okay, feel like they make some headway. And I feel like for a time anyway, it feels like things go their way. And it could take a year for that all to play out, but I feel like they get a better structure going forward, and they could even get a government in place, because the emperor can be a government that they're happy with. So if they're not happy with the current government, which I understood, wasn't that part of the issue? Yep. I feel like they will actually go forward with a leader they can actually get behind. So it does look like, even though it's drastic and the things that are going on are dangerous and unfortunate, I feel like it was a measure that they felt they had to take, and that it'll actually maybe do some good. And the rest of us might be watching and taking some notes.